right. We are back. It's been a little bit.
Took a little break.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. Things been a little crazy.
Just a
um,
little bit.
yeah, we were just talking earlier, a second ago, about how finally got a haircut for like the first time. It's gonna be funny going back and watching like the ones before they have to, because I've been cutting my own hair, and now it's actually gonna look like I've had a real haircut. But it's nice to like, man, they use the gel and everything and like straightened and edged, and it's a level
You
of
like
pampering I'm not used to.
you like you made for TV now, man.
Yeah, right. Oh no, it's just something. It's weird to think about things like that. Like with COVID. I don't know. I just started cutting my own hair, cutting my kids' hair, and everything.
Right,
Just you do what you gotta
right.
do, and then you don't think about it, and then like a year and a half later, suddenly, here you are,
Here you
getting
are,
pampered
right,
again, and you're like, wow, that's
right,
yeah, what an experience.
right. I mean, but like, I don't know. This is like really ironic that you just said that, but that's kind of one of the topics that we were talking about, like, which is relational selling versus transactional selling. So, I mean, just what you said right there. Just
Yeah,
think what that was. I mean, the barber, whoever cut your hair, he created an experience for you. So that was a relational sale. So now he made you talk about it in such a positive way
yeah,
that you're sharing it with me,
yeah,
and you're going to share it with somebody else
yeah.
who
Shout
is
out
now going to
Jonah.
be like,
Thank you.
well, yeah, yeah, they're gonna be like, wow. First of all, it looks good. Second of all, he was so excited about it, and
Yeah,
I mean, isn't that the type of sales that we want, where like our clients become so ecstatic about
yeah.
the products and services that we offer that they just want to share it with the world?
Th-
I mean,
that's a really valid point, and I see where you're going with it. And
yeah,
yeah, it's one of the things where I used to experience this a lot when I was working with sales teams that I was building for the sales
hmm
company I was working for previously. Is the salespeople would get so focused, hyper focused on that
right,
sale right in that moment and trying to do whatever they could to close it down.
right,
They were afraid, terrified to let them go back and talk to their aunt or let them go back and
right,
talk to their wife or husband. And the way I always looked at it, which, sometimes you lose the sale whenever the person's
yeah,
like, well, let me talk to my wife, and you never hear from them again. That happens.
hmm
But sometimes they would go and talk to their wife, and then they would come back with extended family. And they
hmm
were like, hey, we all talked about it, and we thought if we could get this deal, we could extend that deal to the family and pull everybody in. And then suddenly, boom, you
yeah,
had you had twice as many customers as before, and
yeah,
that didn't happen every time, but neither did losing the customer happen every time.
right,
So it's one of those things that if you've got the mind for it, like if you can see it, if you can envision it, and you can understand how to have that experience or that conversation, build that
right,
relationship, like what you're
right,
talking about, then
right,
you can cultivate it. And I think that really kind of goes to speak a lot about the advertising that people are doing nowadays, which some of it is transactional. It's vending machine, right? Like
right,
they're looking to go to social media, they're looking to advertise, and like, why would I spend this money, and why would
hmm
I advertise this way? And they
right,
want some sort of vending. They want to push E3 and get a customer out, right? like
right. Yeah, exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
Um, but then sometimes they understand that, like for example, a lot of our law clients, they really understand this, and I think that it's due in large part to the fact that there's a lot of rules on them, and they have a very
hmm
specific kind of sandbox they can play in that puts
Right,
them in the mindset from the very beginning that they have to they have to put their brand out there, they have to put their story out there, they have to build a reputation, and
absolutely.
that crafting those experiences enhances the building of the reputation. And then as that thing gains momentum, it's like cultivating rather than trying to go and transact. But it does end up leading to more and more and more clients. I think that one of our law firms, they get like what, a hundred requests like a month at least, that come in through the contact forms on their websites and the social
hmm
media and different things like that. And sometimes it spikes much higher than that. But um, and these are warm, but it's because they keep putting their relationship and their reputationships. They
Making
put
up
their
words, huh?
I am now. They put their reputations out there in a way where they gain momentum, and
Yep.
they become top of mind and spotlight. And it's one of those, especially in law, and a lot of services are this way. Like you have to be top of mind when the person has the need, and they don't always need it right then, but they might later. Um,
Well, just think. So specifically with law, you mean most people, almost not most, almost 100% of the time, you don't want to have to deal with an attorney. But why are you going to an attorney? It's because you've probably experienced some sort of trauma,
mhm.
some sort of loss, some sort of grief. Something has happened that's forced you to have to go to an attorney. And at that moment, you don't want to be sold. You want to be heard. You want to be
Mm,
listened to. You want to be consoled.
yeah,
So although there is a transaction that
true.
happens on the back end, the transaction is the result of someone listening to you, someone
Right.
consoling you, someone, you know, uh, you're putting your trust in them. So,
Someone
and I think,
having their sights set on reputation versus the transaction they're trying to gear up for.
whether it's an attorney, doctor's office, car dealership, real estate, it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
People who understand that the transaction is only a result of what you do on the front end, that becomes so important. And it doesn't
Yeah,
matter what you're selling. I mean, I could care less. You can be selling
sure.
T-shirts. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you think about why Publix
I
puts
was
out
gonna
these
say
emotional,
Publix. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, when they put out these, oh my God, heartwarming
they're not
commercials during
selling a
the
thing.
holiday time, they're not selling anything. They're
Hmm.
getting you emotionally connected to who they are as
There's no
people.
call to action, BOGO, come get this now, it's hot. Before, oh, I lost you. Chris, Chris, baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. Baby, come back.
Bro, I
There
am
we
so
go.
sorry. My phone rang. My
Oh,
bad. That's the one thing I hate. My phone rang and it kicks me off, and I'm like panic trying to hit the button to end the call.
it's all good.
Sorry.
I'm gonna
All right,
leave
so
that in there as a blooper though. That's fine.
my bad, bro. Like,
Oh, it happens. It's okay.
but
But yeah, the we were talking about the transactions, right?
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
Publix.
so
Publix is what we were talking about. Yeah. So yeah, they're not selling BOGO. They're not advertising. They're not getting you to come in for a deal. I think it's a lot. What's that Maya Angelou quote? People won't remember everything that you've said, but they will remember how you made them
how
feel.
you made them feel? Yeah.
And
So
that feeling, learning how to leave people with a feeling is
sure.
the key. Like that should be one of the number one things that you focus on in your marketing, period. As you
Yeah.
advertise, as you market, as you think about spending money, is this going to make them feel good? Is this going to
Yeah.
make them think of us and feel good, right?
Yeah.
Because if they're thinking of you feeling good, at least being emotionally impacted, then they're more likely to interact with you when they
Yeah.
need it. And that's the thing. Uh,
Yeah.
that's what you're really trying to gear up for, with your advertising and your marketing. And people
Let me
don't
tell you.
always understand that when they go in.
Oh, absolutely. Let me tell you another story, bro. I mean,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
what's happening like real time.
Okay.
So obviously everything is expensive right now, cars, real estate. But so I had this car sales guy. I mean, he's literally been trying to sell me a car forever.
Okay.
And I've been taking his phone calls. So he said, yeah, come over here. Come down to the lot. Look at this truck that just came in. I said, okay, I'll come look at it. So he showed me the truck, and I'm like, well, are there any rebates or anything? He's like, no. He's like, not only are there no rebates, we're charging $7,500 over sticker price. So
Wow.
I'm like, I'm paying full price for this. On top of the fact, you guys want to charge me $7,500 on something that is not going to be worth more later on down the line. It's going to be
Yeah.
worth less. It's a car.
Right.
I mean, that
Yeah.
didn't sit well with me because I'm thinking like,
Mm-hmm.
as the owner of this dealership. Now, granted, yes, is there a shortage on cars today, right now? In 2021, obviously there are. But you're going to charge me 7,500, and that was just on that one, and then on some other vehicles it was $10,000 over sticker price.
Oh,
And I
what?
took a picture of this because it made me feel some sort of way. And so I went home and I was like, you know what, that's just not right because in
Mm-hmm.
2 years, when things get back to normal or whatever the case, if I were to buy this, I'm going to be so
You're
far
gonna be
upside down, it would
so
be
yeah,
ridiculous.
man.
So, that happened. I swear, ironically, this morning I woke up. I was on TikTok, and I saw a video with a car salesman asking his owner, like he talked about just this subject. He was like, "Hey,
Hmm.
a lot of dealers are out here selling cars over invoice." He was like, "And we don't do that. Why?" And the owner of the dealer said, "You know what? What I think about is 2, 3 years from now, when those people want to come back, in the conversation I'm gonna have to have with them about being so far upside down because they overpaid for it right now." He was like, "I'd rather be fair with people and treat them right now because I care about that next sale."
Yep.
And that was powerful to me, just because you
Yep.
see two different angles
Yep.
of how people approach, dealing with the situation. Obviously,
Sure.
yes, it's kind of crazy right now, but gouging people in a situation today is only going to hurt you on the back end.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's very key to what we're talking about.
It is. As
One
is
person is
something that
talking about,
you
yeah,
you
one
as you
person
were.
is talking
I'm
about
sorry.
a
Go ahead.
transaction. One person is transactional selling. He's
Yes.
worried about that sale today, right this moment. He could care less about your business 2, 3 years from now.
Yeah.
The other person is saying, "Look, let me build a relationship because
Yes.
I want these people to come back and not feel like I gouged them 2 years ago."
Yes.
So it was very powerful for me because it was
Yeah.
something personal, and it just literally, it was a phone call, a visit to the dealership, and
Yep.
then a TikTok. All three happened within a 24-hour period
So I want to
that
focus in on the
brought it full
TikTok.
circle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because an extra layer to emphasize what you were saying is that the advertising dollars, like the amount of money or effort or time went into advertising or putting that video together to get it ready for TikTok, that's marketing dollars. And that's marketing dollars well spent. But it's not a call to action. It's not coming by now. It's not
right.
pushing all of these things. But what it is doing is it's positioning their reputation because of just
There you
what you
go.
said right there. And
Exactly.
all the money and effort that they would, if companies would think about this and put their money and effort into things like that,
Yeah.
right? They would benefit hugely from it. But a lot of them are too busy thinking about the other way around, which is how much money am I spending and how many clients am I getting for this, and nothing else matters. Like that's all that
Right.
matters. And the truth is, like, it it we don't live in a world that's transactional.
Yeah.
People themselves, we don't think and act that transactionally. Do we make transactions? Yes, but
Sure.
we do them mostly with people with whom we have a relationship of trust and, like, what's the word, friendship or likability,
Mhm.
favor. I think favor. We think favorably about
Right.
people, and therefore, like, we gravitate toward doing our transactions with those people because there are transactions we have to make. That's a given.
Right.
The choice that we make is who we make those transactions with, and the marketing should go toward that, toward crafting that brand, crafting that story, letting them see who you are, you know.
And I think, I mean, the companies who understand that, they truly understand the essence of marketing in 2021. Who understand messaging and positioning and consistency. I
Yeah.
mean, because again, the transactions are a result of all of those things that you do good on the front end.
Right.
So, I mean, and that's really, I don't know, that's the world we live in, and it's like, some will, some won't. Some people get it, some don't.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing is that through COVID and through all the changes that we've all been through over the past 18, 19 months, the companies that are still around, that are surviving, that are thriving, have done some sort of, good job of that brand proposition, that brand messaging, that brand positioning to get their clientele to stick
Yeah.
with them through this time. We've all had to make adjustments, but
Yeah.
the ones who survive are the ones who have that, that loyal fan base who stuck with them through these times.
Absolutely. Yeah, there are several companies that I can think of off the top of my head, especially like Sweet Tomatoes went under like
Mhm.
really really
Went
quick.
under fast. Yep.
Yeah. And when I think about them, I think very transactionally about all the things that I've experienced with them. Like, my wife loves Sweet Tomatoes. I never really liked it.
Yeah.
I won't meet. Right?
True.
That's just how I feel every time she would be like
Right.
wanting to go there for her birthday. I'm like, I won't meet. but but every time that they would send out like an email, it was like, oh, come get this for your birthday, or come do this, or come do that. It was very transactional. you know.
Yeah.
And there are other companies that I mean, Publix is another good example, right? That just fits in that place. Or there's a deodorant company. I can't remember the name of it. I don't want to missay it. I think I remember it, but I don't want to missay it, so I'm not going to. But as something as simple as like putting in extra time into the receipts, they sent out just the receipt for a purchase that my wife made, and they told this story about how, oh, they were excited that the order came in and they passed it around and they were going to get to it right away, and all the same stuff that a basic receipt would say. We'll get you your order, it'll be placed within 24 hours, you can expect blah 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 blah. But they wove all of that into telling a story as a part of that follow-up email, instead of just the bare bones, here's your receipt. And
Yeah.
that has just impressed me. That happened years ago, like 4, 5, 6 years ago, and I haven't
Stuck with
forgotten
you.
it. And my
Yeah.
wife still
Stuck with
likes
you.
to use their deodorant, and I don't. But
Yeah.
she does, and she still uses them, and that's
So,
fine.
so I think one of the things that can come out of this is that, as an organization, let's say you have a
Sure.
business, you're a small company,
Okay.
large, it doesn't matter. I think everybody, every employee, every person in a company could benefit from some branding, brand messaging, and marketing training,
Training.
regardless of what your role is within the company. And the reason why I say that is because at some point in business, we all are in customer service.
Yeah.
I don't care what our title is. We're all in customer service. Everyone has the ability to impact how
Yes.
we make a client, a customer, or a prospect feel about our business. So I think that's one of the things that would be so important for all companies.
Mm-hmm.
Invest in that training, not just for people in marketing and in
Right.
sales, but again, if you're a car dealership, the porter, the person pulling in the cars,
Yeah.
the receptionist, even the person who's cleaning. I mean, how important, would that be, or how impactful could that
Mm-hmm.
be if you have this whole unit of people moving in the same direction when it comes to client interactions, branding, marketing, messaging, everyone telling the same story?
Yep.
That's powerful. Oh
Yeah,
my
because
goodness.
whoever you're in front of at that given moment, you are the face of the business to that person.
Absolutely, absolutely. So,
Yeah.
yeah, good stuff, man. Well,
Yeah. Good stuff.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that these things can kind of go on forever. We can talk
Yeah, we
about this
could.
stuff for days. We have like so
We
much
usually do in
experience
all of
and
our meetings.
stories.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I always like to drop nuggets and kind of just let it go,
Yeah.
because I mean, somebody's going to see it. They're going to take a piece of this and say, you know what, I can use this piece. And I don't like to do
Yeah.
sensory overload where we just dump too much on people. So I just
Yeah.
feel like, look,
Well, let's leave it
focus
there.
on your focus on your messaging and get everybody around you, all your stakeholders involved in
You
that
know,
process.
and then
Man, have
remember,
fun.
as you're planning your budget, it doesn't
Yeah,
just need to go toward transactional items. It needs to go toward building a reputation.
relationship, right? Cool,
Hmm.
good stuff.
All right.
We
We'll
out.
call it there.
Hey, I told you, if I go left again, and damn, I'm gonna be out the car. So I'm just gonna call it a day.
All right. Later.
All right, man.